Hey guys, welcome back to the Effects Guide channel, and today we have a very exciting tutorial. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing, and today we're doing this. Hey guys, so I'm here in Adobe After Effects, and today I'm going to take you through two different types of text motion graphics. Alright, so let's get started. First, create a new composition. Let's make it 1920 by 1080. Okay, and we get into here. The next thing we have to do is create a new solid. Create a white solid, right, and name it BG for background. Okay, so we have a nice background over there. The next thing we have to do is create a rectangle. All right, so you get the rectangular tool, this one, and draw a nice rectangle just the way you want it. Alright, so let's say something like that. When you have something like that, you move it to the center, select it, get the pen tool, move this in the middle, make sure it's at the center, and after it's at the center, come here to window, click align, and center this. Yeah, that it looks nice. So we need the stroke. Give it a solid color and make it white. We need a white, and remove this fill. Yeah, and change this stroke to a black, something like that. Looks nice, guys. So let's put in our text. So you can put in anything you want, but as for me, I'll put in the effects guy. Yeah, just my text is in white. Just need to change the color to black, and there you have it, something like that. Yeah, and I'll change my my font to an Arial. No, or let me change it to a Calibri, something like that. Looks kind of cool. You can put it to anything you want. Yeah, so we have something like that, the effects guy. And the next thing we are going to do is on this one, this is what we're going to do. You're going to get your pen tool, okay, and this is where we want it to end. We don't want the whole thing complete all the way. All right, so we need it to start from here. So hold shift, click here, just so to keep it in a straight line. Click here as well, click here as well, click here as well, and click here as well. That's where we want it. All right, so we have something like this. If it's not leveled, you can still adjust it and get something nice. All right, so we have something like that. So what we can do is we have to delete the one we created at first, and we have something like that. It's looking nice, and you can always adjust it if you don't like the way it is. Yeah, you can always do a little bit of an adjustment. Move this up front, something like that. All right, but it looks good to me. Okay, yeah. So when we are done with this, we need to add some more text. So right here, I'm gonna put motion. All Alright, and I'm gonna scale it down, make it so small, put it to Arial, regular, and I need to give it space up these characters. So you just move this thing here and space them up as much as possible. Alright, then you can get the pen tool and move the anchor point to the center. Alright, it makes things easier to work with when it's at the center. So you just scale this down and put it here, something like that. Right, and you can still adjust it if you want, or you can keep it that way. And we can also make it a bit bold such that it's visible, something like that. Alright, and the next thing we have to do is put text up here. Alright, you can put anything you want, but as for me, I'm gonna put After Effects tutorials. Alright, and all I have to do is scale this down. Alright, I'll make it a Calibri, bold one. Sorry, and I move this down. I need to reduce the space in between, so I have something like that. Just get the pen tool and center this anchor point. Alright, so we have something like this. We have something like this. Looks pretty nice, guys. So what we are left with is give it a little bit of an animation. Alright, so why don't we do that? Alright, so you first reduce this composition, trim it. You can reduce it a little bit again, trim it, yeah, and just adjust it like this. Right, so that you don't have to have a long way through the composition. Okay, so next thing we have to do is we need to create a shape layer. Okay, so you create one around this, the whole of it. Okay, and remove the stroke, give it a fill, and give it that kind of color just so we keep track of it. Okay, so uncheck it. Now we need to animate this, so hit P for precision. Okay, and this is where we want it after a few frames, so you give it that and move back, and let's move it up about there. Highlight this, hit F9, very easy, use them. Then go to the graph editor and just adjust this. Okay, so we shall have something like that coming in. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna move this up like that and come here. If this part is not here, just toggle the switches and it will come, and then you automate. So let's see what we have. Well, looks nice to me. Yeah, so all we have to do is get this thing above everything such that it looks like it's coming out, not on top. All right, yeah, something like that looks nice. All right, so the next thing we have to do is animate the bit up, the After Effects tutorial. So hit P for position, and this is where we want it after a few frames. Hit the position, and over here move it down. Okay, so select this and F9, go to the graph editor, select this, adjust it. We need to have this this smooth flow. All right, we don't want something rough coming in. Now the next thing you have to do is duplicate this shape layer. All right, let's first move this down, and we have to duplicate this. All right, turn it on and move it up. Okay, and we get our text for After Effects tutorials, and we automate this. So we have something like this. All right, looks nice. All we have to do is get this boundary and put it up. You could actually rename it just so if it's you're having trouble differentiating this shape layer. All right, but we have something nice coming in. See that? It looks nice, guys. So the next thing we have to do is give this motion thing an animation, but it's the same theory all the way. All right. So come here, get the shape layer. You gotta duplicate it, turn it on, move it down about there. All right. Just then adjust this. All right. Adjust it over there, and turn it off. Then come here to motion. All right, hit P for position, and this is where we want it after a few frames. Hit P and come over here and just move it down. All right, highlight this and hit F9. Get to the graph editor, highlight that, adjust this, and let's automate this. All right, so get this motion and get the shape layer created. Just get this motion, move it up, and turn this back on, and just automate. So let's see. Looks nice. Yeah, it looks nice. So the next bit we have to we have to give the boundary like an animation. It doesn't have to be so still and flat. It has to be a bit of a fancy boundary. You get it? So get to it. You could rename it to boundary if you please. Alright, and select it, go here, press add, and add trim paths. Alright, so we have these trim paths. All we have to do is come here to trim paths 1, and we have to move this end to 0, give it a keyframe, come here and get it to 100. You can always adjust it the way you want it. Highlight them, F9, get to the graph editor, highlight this, move it up front, and let's see what we have. Well, it looks nice. You can always adjust it the way you want. If it's moving too fast, you can always decrease it, decrease the speed, and keep it to a constant speed. And you can adjust this such that it comes in a bit late after the line is drawn. Okay, so let's see what we have. Except for the background, it needs to be constant. Wow, looks nice, guys. It looks nice. Yeah, looks really nice. So that's it for our first animation, and for, let's see, our second animation. All right, for our second animation, create a new composition, and keep it 1920 by 1080. All right, so we're here, and so first create text. Decrease this, make sure, just so you don't have a lot of spaces. The text, call it, let's put motion, and let's first create a new solid. New solid, make it white. Okay, put it beneath, and yeah, something like this, motion. Right, decrease this and scale it down a bit. Center this if it isn't centered. If it's centered, well and good, and give it a little bit of a rotation. Okay, could move it like this. All right, to about 7, and you have to center this text. So get to a line and just center it there. Okay, something like that, or you can keep it up a bit. So duplicate this very same text, move it down, and put the word graphics. something of that sort, and scale it up a bit. Okay, something like that. So we're gonna change these words to kind of like a red color. You can actually change it to any color you want, although I'll go with, let's do red and black. All right, so we have something like that. And actually for this text animation, it's more it's a complex animation, but it's nice. All right, it's good. Yeah, so what we're gonna do, get to this motion. All right, drop this down and go to text, add, come here to animate. All right, and put dragging. Put the dragging. Okay, so with this dragging, we can move this. You see that? Pretty cool, right? Yeah. So we set that, and what we're gonna do is add something else. Come here as well. Add. No, come here to animate, and add position. All right. Make sure it comes here, not down here, and we're gonna use this. Okay. So the interesting part is that when you move this, it moves either that side, or when you move this, it moves either down. All right. So the simple thing you have to do is come here to the range selector, and all you have to do is select what you want to move. All right. So I want to move this M. All right. You see these bars, these red bars. They're the ones which select. All right. So I've selected M, and when I move position, M will move down. All right, pretty cool, right? Okay, so all you can do is just animate this to get everything down and everything up, just the way you want it. You see that? And then just moving this end selector. It's about you, what you want to move, how you want to move it. All right. Yeah. All right. So okay, let's do this. So first move this to 100. All right, and that's where it is, and where we want it is there. All right. So create a keyframe there, here and there. Select this, hit F9, get to the graph editor, select this, and move it. Give it a smooth, slow animation. All right. So let's see what we have. Something nice. And if you want, you could adjust it such that you have something more fast. Okay. Yeah, I actually did this when it starts with the M and coming in, but if you want, you could also start with the other side, because we started with the end, right? Let me show you something. So it's here, right? When we remove this, we could start with this, and it's M coming in first. You see that? Pretty cool, right? All right, so hit the start. Let's do that. Okay, at 0, then move it like this. Select them, F9. You could actually leave the easiest thing, and you have something like this. Okay, but just so to give it something smooth, come here, select this, move it at least that side. Yeah, it's pretty nice. So the only thing you have to do next is create a new solid, a shape layer. All right, something like that, and get the pan tool, select this and put this at the center, the anchor point, then rotate it. Not so much, we need to keep it nice shape, right? So all we have to do is come here to this motion thing and just affirmate. So we have this text coming in like that. just one by one, and looks nice. So we could adjust this graphics word here and make this thing a bit bigger, not so small. The effect doesn't really come out right when it's so small. Okay, so you need to give it a little bit of room. Yeah, so adjust this to about here. Okay, so there we have something like that. Looks nice. Yeah, so there are a lot of things actually you can do with this tracking thing. So when we get to this part of motion and to the animate to the tracking sector, you could actually come here to animate and add you can add a scale. All right, although we don't want animate to, we don't want two things, we want one, but same thing, you could give it a scale. All right, so you could put this to 34, hit that scale thing, and here put it to 100. Sorry. Right, so select this F9, so we have something like that. You see that having a scale in it, and you can adjust this if it's not so fast. Yeah, looks pretty nice, right? Yeah, looks pretty nice. So it's the same thing you do with the graphics word. All right, same trick, same good result. All right, and so then the shapes you saw on this side are really easy to create. I'll show you. It's the same theory. Okay, so come here, select this, and we could create something like this. All right, remove the fill. We want only the stroke, and we want it red. Okay, something like that, and reduce this to around 5. We don't want it so big. All right, so reduce this to 5. Yeah, we just want something smooth coming up. Okay, yeah, so what we're gonna do is get into this, add, give it trim paths. All right, and in these trim paths we're gonna do the same thing we did last time, just moving this, and for example we want it here, so select end, move it here, and put it to 100, and here move the start, put it to 0. Okay, so let's do like this. Start begins here, start ends here. Alright, select this F9, and we shall have a sweet animation coming in. You see that? Yeah, we could adjust this a bit, so we have something nice coming in. Yeah, you could always adjust it more if it's slow. Alright, you see that? Yeah, looks nice. Looks good to me. Okay, so all you have to do is create, just duplicate this, and when you get into it, transform, remove shape 1, and in it just get the pen tool and create other shapes. It will all have the same animation. Alright, we'll have the same animation, just create different ones everywhere. Alright, have it go everywhere, have it go everywhere you want it just do anything you want there, right? And just so they all don't get done at the same time, you will have to displace them a bit, right? So we have something like this, all right? Looks nice. There are a lot of things you could do with this trick, all right? But that was it for this tutorial. If you're new here, please consider subscribing and let me know if you like this tutorial, if you learned something, if you liked it. Yeah, and until next time.